Red Bull have been enjoying a lot of successes recently, and that is exactly why they will start developing their own engine, as they're trying to become a full works team. After years of operating as a customer team, Christian Horner has outlined why Red Bull should start producing their own power units, as it seems that right now, the time is right to do so. Let's find out why Red Bull will develop their own engine and why it's a good idea to do so. Do you think Red Bull will be able to develop a truly great engine? Let us know in the comments below. Red Bull Powertrains, or RBPT, which was founded last year, took over the management of Honda's power units as the Milton Keynes company moved closer to becoming an engine builder in its own right, beginning with the next power unit cycle. Red Bull was a long-time Renault customer before switching to Honda engines. This relationship produced 4 World Championship seasons between 2010 and 2013. But it was bitterly ended because Red Bull believed Renault lagged behind other power unit producers in the hybrid era. Given this, Horner was questioned on a recent episode of the Beyond the Grid podcast on why the team hadn't established an engine division earlier. I think because the investment at that time and the technology was so advanced, it would have been unimaginable, and we probably weren't mature enough as an organization to take that on. Whereas now, we're at a stage where we are that mature, he said. The regulations that have come in, with the homologated engines until the end of 2025, have allowed us that period of time to build up Red Bull powertrains for entry in 2026. And with the regulations that are reasonably known, it enables us to take that plunge. And of course with the budget cap as well, which was an absolutely crucial element to becoming a power unit manufacturer, because otherwise we would never be able to compete with the likes of the manufacturer teams that have unlimited R&D budget at their disposal. Red Bull had been in talks with Porsche about a possible partnership as work on the new site picked up, but it has since been revealed that this will not happen. Despite this, the German manufacturer has stated that F1 is still an attractive environment. Horner informed Sky Sports F1 about the development and where it leaves his team. As I've spoken about reasonably consistently, Red Bull elected to become a power unit manufacturer more than 18 months ago now. In that time, we've recruited some of the best talent in Formula 1. We now have over 300 people recruited in Red Bull powertrains. We've built a factory in 55 weeks, a state-of-the-art facility, and we've produced an engine, the first ever Red Bull engine. He continued, obviously, as we've been on this journey, there's been some discussion with Porsche along the way, a phenomenal company and a great brand. But it was felt that the fit just isn't quite right for where we're going and the journey that we're on. Nothing changes for us. There's been no input from Porsche into the engine or the activity, and so it doesn't change anything. It's an exciting new chapter for Red Bull as we become a power unit manufacturer. Pierre Wash, Red Bull's technical director, recently acknowledged that the team faces a massive challenge to prepare a power unit for the new engine era and compete with Mercedes, Ferrari and Renault right away. The 2026 regulation revisions, which would keep the current V6 internal combustion engine architecture but feature enhanced electrical power and 100% sustainable fuels, spurred Audi to commit to the sport as a supplier in addition to Red Bull powertrains. So what exactly are those regulations? Well, we'll sum them up for you. The FIA World Motorsport Council recently approved power unit standards that will take effect for the 2026 season. Two of the important components of the recently agreed rules are higher electrical power and 100% sustainable fuels. The V6 internal combustion engine architecture will remain the same for the 2026 Formula 1 power units, according to the FIA's 4 primary regulations, which are as follows. Maintaining the spectacle. The 2026 power unit will have similar performance to the current designs, utilizing high power, high revving V6 internal combustion engines, and avoiding excessive performance differentiation to allow for improved raceability. Environmental sustainability. The 2026 power unit will include an increase in the deployment of electrical power to up to 50% and utilize a 100% sustainable fuel. Financial sustainability. Financial regulations regarding the power units will reduce the overall costs for competitors, whilst retaining the cutting-edge technological showcase that is at the core of Formula 1. Attractive to new power unit manufacturers. The regulations are intended to make it possible and attractive for newcomers to join the sport at a competitive level. The existing motor generator unit heat, or MGU-H element, will be eliminated in accordance with the requirements in 2026. while the power output on the power unit's energy recovery systems will be increased to 350 kilowatts. According to the FIA, the regulations were developed by collaborative consultation between the FIA and both incumbent and potential new PU manufacturers. The 2026 Formula One power unit regulations are the most prominent example of the FIA's commitment to advance innovation and sustainability, according to FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem, who was speaking about the agreement on the regulations. The introduction of advanced PU technology, along with synthetic sustainable fuels, aligns with our objective of delivering benefits for road car users and meeting our objective of net zero carbon by 2030. Formula One is currently enjoying immense growth, and we're confident these regulations will build on the excitement our 2022 changes have produced. I want to thank all of the FIA management and technical staff involved in this process for their diligence and commitment in working together with all of our Formula One stakeholders to deliver this. I also want to thank our WMSC members for their consideration and approval of these regulations. To produce an F1 power unit is a great task, let alone trying to do it for a race-winning team. And Red Bull are well aware of this. The team's technical director, Pierre Wash, stated that Red Bull face a very deep learning curve to enter the market with a power unit capable of competing with current manufacturers Mercedes, Ferrari, and Renault. But he has faith that they will ultimately succeed. This was said in the midst of milestones like the completion of the first RBPT dyno test. And this hasn't been the only milestone this year, as Red Bull, which has been without a Constructors' Championship since 2013, is expected to win this year's championship in the upcoming weeks, after Max Verstappen won the Drivers' Championship at Suzuka last weekend, for the second year in a row. It will be the first Constructors' Championship won by Red Bull in the hybrid era. In 2022, 3 decades after his first title win, Chief Technical Officer Adrian Newey oversaw the implementation of yet another set of new F1 regulations, and Horner paid respect to him. Adrian and the whole technical team, he said when asked about Newey's ongoing contribution. Pierre Wash, our technical director, Enrico Balbo, head of aerodynamics, Craig Skinner, chief designer, Ben Waterhouse, head of performance engineering. I think this is the strongest team we've ever had. And I think that's testimony to the hard work that goes in behind the scenes that's delivered this kind of performance. Horner emphasized that the team had to turn to its 2022 project later than some of its competitors because of the title battle with Mercedes last year. I think for the team to do what we did last year and to turn up with a car as competitive as we have, being the last team to transition onto it, under massive pressure this year with the cost cap and everything else, it's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears go into it. I think the car, the way we adapted to the new regulations, the engineering team, it's been a phenomenal performance by everybody involved. And Max has, I think, grown from that first World Championship. The way he's driven, the way he's operated this year, has just been at another level. And all respect to him because he truly deserves this championship. Everybody within the factory, within Red Bull, all of our partners, all of our technical partners have just stepped it up another gear this year. And it's been phenomenal. Horner praised Honda, whose logo was on the cars in the Japanese Grand Prix, following the conclusion of a new agreement between the two companies. Yasuaki Asaki, the director of the Honda F1 project, was asked by Horner to pick up the Constructors' Trophy at Suzuka. To win here, with Honda confirming their participation over the next 3 years, and Asaki-san, who has been one of those heroes behind the scenes within the Honda organization and within HRC, I felt it only right for him to collect the Constructors' Trophy today. A very proud moment for everybody in HRC. We're truly grateful for the support that they've provided us in previous years, and obviously, as a supplier this year, they've done a great job as well. All our partners like ExxonMobil with this new E10 fuel as well this year. It needs everything to come together to achieve the kind of result that we have, and we've done that, we've achieved it. He also paid tribute to the boss of Red Bull. I have to say a big shout out to Dietrich Mateschitz as well. Everything that he's provided all of us, the unrelenting support from Red Bull is the reason why we're all here. And so a huge shout out to Dietrich and everybody within Red Bull for what's been achieved. And that is only the start of something special, as Red Bull will try to hit the ground running when the new regulations start in 2026. Do you think they'll become a works team to be reckoned with, or will the experiment fail? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with all the latest F1 news.